Hello, today I will be talking about movie review number 900. 900. Wow, another milestone. This movie is Occupied City. Occupied City is a 2023 film that is directed by Steve McQueen, who also directed films like 12 Years a Slave and Widows. Occupied City is a documentary movie that takes place in Amsterdam, and it has A24 Films, Regency Enterprises, Film 4 Productions, NL Film Fonds Productions, Lammas Park Productions, and Family Affair Films. I saw this movie on January 13th, 2024 at Esquire Video in Clifton, Ohio. So, Occupy City is a documentary movie about Amsterdam and when it was occupied by the Nazis during the years 1940 and 1945. Actually, this is based on a book called Actress of an Occupied City, written by Bianca Stigter, which is spelled Stigter. Bianca Stigter. This is a movie that has the past colliding with our precarious present in Steve McQueen's documentary, Occupied City. In this movie, McQueen creates two interlocking portraits: a door-to-door excavation of the Nazi occupation that still haunts his adopted city, and a vivid journey through the last years of pandemic and protest. What emerges is both devastating and life-affirming, and is an expansive meditation on memory, time, and where we are headed today. I thought this was a pretty good movie. And it's not most documentaries, like for instance, a lot of documentaries have people talking about various events, but you actually see the people talking. In this movie, we see a narrator that details several events that have happened when Amsterdam has been occupied by the Nazis during the years 1940 and 1945. And then we also see images/scenes of people living in Amsterdam today and taking place through the last few years that took place in Amsterdam during the COVID pandemic and also the times uh, uh, of police protests. Sorry about that. So the film details when the COVID pandemic took place and how it shut everything down, and then we also see some police protests going on in the city. But the film also details several key events that have happened during the time when Amsterdam was occupied by the Nazis, which is why the movie is called Occupied City. Occupied City, because Amsterdam was at one point occupied by the Nazis during the Second World War, and also how this the years that Amsterdam was occupied by the Nazis still haunts McQueen to this day, and how it changed this city forever. And especially with the last few years when the pandemic struck the world, and with police protests and other things happening in the world during the last few years, how it struck Amsterdam and how it might lead into today. Because the film also explores where we might be headed today. Now, I thought it was a pretty good movie. Now, a lot of the movie, in my opinion, I think more of the movie is about the present rather than the past. Like I said, the film a little bit does show some images of the past during the years 1940 and 1945, but but it shows more of the last few years when the COVID pandemic hit and how people adjusted to that and what has been going on with the police protests and other things that have happened during the last few years. Now, I would like to say that this is a pretty good movie, but this is a very long movie. This is a documentary that is over 4 hours long. But I will say that they actually put a 15-minute intermission in that in part of the movie, and I thought it was pretty cool. They literally actually had a 15-minute intermission where it said 15 minutes and then intermission, and there was like a wave that went through each letter in the word intermission until the 15 minutes were up, which I thought was pretty good. But yeah, even though this was a long movie, I thought it was pretty good. And it definitely leaves a lasting impact on how Amsterdam is today, how being occupied by the Nazis changed Amsterdam forever, and also how the last few years that have struck the world and also Amsterdam has shaped Amsterdam today and where we might be headed. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty good movie. Steve McQueen really did a great job at this movie. So that's my movie review of Occupied City. Man, 900 movie reviews. We were like 100 more to 1,000. Wow. Please tune in for my next movie review. Alright, goodbye.